that area. Around Manzimtoti, we have also did the same. We have extended we've expanded some of our infrastructure so that it can cope with the demand in those areas. It is important to share with you that we have finalized the procurement processes attached to the second tranche of the storm disaster grant that we have received from national government. Contractors are already on the ground, and we are confident that they will be complete. These projects will be completed quickly. Now, let me come to the issue that has been causing a lot of noise in the city. Is the issue of the flood relief fund and its rollover, where people have made a call for the mayor to vacate the position because we have failed to spend the money. So let me give you the good news. We must hear from the horses now. We are also pleased to report that after National Treasury requested us to provide clarities on the application we submitted on grants rollover, they responded yesterday. You are the first one to get this news. In their response, they have indicated that they will approve the rollover of the Municipal Disaster Recovery Grant, the Project Preparation Support Grant, and the Neighborhood Development Partnership Grant for the Public Employment Program. In total, the National Treasury granted the municipality an approval of 1.6 billion rand that we already is in our bank account. This approval is in respect of the following. On Municipal Disaster Recovery Grant, in totality, or RNR, in totality is 1.5 billion to fund human settlement projects, water and sanitation, coastal and stormwater, roads provision, and stormwater maintenance. Project Preparation Support Grant is amounting at 8.9 million rand. Neighborhood Development Partnership Grant, which will assist us to resuscitate the PEP, is 32.9 million rand. Regarding the Informal Settlements Upgrade Partnership Grant, we notified them that it was spent in full. They have also committed to reconsider the Public Transport Network Grant as there was still a dispute with the Department of Transport. The latest development, particularly in relation to the storm disaster grant, will help us to speed up the repairs of our roads and stormwater infrastructure, which was severely damaged during the floods. I'm sure you'll agree with me that road infrastructure is critical in the tourism sector because visitors cannot be able to access our tourism sites or if our roads infrastructure is not in good shape, in poor state. This will also assist us to ensure that the linkages, economic linkages of our communities does take place, especially on the bridges which were broken as well as the roads that will be rehabilitated. The approval of the Neighborhood Development Partnership Grant rollover implies that we must revise our business plans to ensure that PEP continues up until December this year. Once again, we want to take this opportunity to thank you and thank the Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry for continuing to work with us to revive the tourism sector in our municipality. We want to assure you, as leadership of the city, that our technical teams will work tirelessly to ensure that all the challenges you have raised with us as members of the public and the tourism sector are addressed as a matter of urgency. We have already put in place our panels that will be responsible to fix sewer leakages in all wards in this city, but starting with the strategic areas of economy and tourism going forward. Let us continue to work together to make it the most caring and livable city. Thank you very much for your presence. Thank you.
I would like to invite the Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry to give his remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Program Director. On a light heart, one of our guests at today's engagement said, for the first time, we saw the government talk very little and to the point, and the private sector talk a lot. So today I'm going to be very short and to the point. Mayor, first of all, I want to thank you for your bold leadership in inviting us into your house to plan jointly with the private sector to have a bumper tourist season for Durban. Because as the private sector, as the tourism sector, we cannot afford not to have a bumper festive season for another year. So it takes bold and courageous leadership to do that, because we see everything, warts and all, and we are very grateful for the opportunity. The mayor kind of highlighted the discussions we had today, and they were very robust discussions, but ultimately there were resolutions reached. And I think for us, what was critical, that the theme of our discussions, the tone of our discussions was allow us, Mayor, to help you to help us. So that means there's no silo mentality between the private sector and the integrated municipality. There's no them and us, it's only us. Because remember, we have a very symbiotic relationship. So for me, this new theme, this new buzzword of private sector participation has really been cemented in today's discussions. A few key things came out. For example, all the hotel owners in the beachfront, the city is saying, yeah, you can clean up the beachfront and help us to keep the beachfront clean at all times. For me, the biggest news, and I must say this, people don't understand that a panel has been appointed to deal with sewage leaks. What that means, there's no procurement that needs to take place. The procurement process has already taken place. And if there's a sewage leak, our members of the chamber, that means the businesses, our citizens, can immediately log a complaint and a company can be dispatched. So when the tourists come here, they may see a leak for 5 minutes, but by the end of the day, the leak doesn't exist. It is so critical for me. The other thing that was very comforting is when the city manager indicated that together with the provincial police commissioner, they did a tour of the city, and at the end of the day, they said, we're going to take our city back as permanence. And they've not only made statements, but they have deployed war bodies and 80 brand new vehicles appropriately branded so that there's visible policing, hopefully not just during the festive season, but throughout the year. By this partnership, not only are we offering our resources in terms of engineers and other subject matter experts to fix critical infrastructure, because for us right now, 24 out of 27 beaches are open, and that's great to announce we can open the beaches safely for a festive season. But we would like to see 27 out of 27 beaches open 365 days a year. It's not only about the fixing of the infrastructure, the maintenance of the infrastructure 365 days throughout the year. And this is our pledge to the municipality that in the war room, they've invited us as well to work side by side with them for the fixing, but for the maintenance of the infrastructure going forward. This level of patriotism is required right now in this moment of crisis, because sometimes not only are we besieged by floods, with bad weather, the criminality enters the situation and causes unforeseen circumstances, and we are ready. So for me, I believe that the Reconvening is ready for the December situation, but we're not going to say we're ready. We're going to have to actively monitor the situation every single day, because mishaps do happen, the problems do occur. So from now until the 15th of January, it's all hands on deck there, both from your side and our side. The tourism industry needs this. Our people who work in the tourism industry needs this. And for me, I'm so glad the municipality, as I said, was bold enough to say, come inside the house, hold us accountable, because we will deliver so that you, as the tourism industry, can have a bumper and prosperous festive season. I must acknowledge the battle against infrastructure and crime has not been won. And I think we've done enough to arrest the situation for the time being, to make sure that our incoming tourists can have a safe and prosperous festive season.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Maharaj, for the message of support and partnership. Indeed, members of the media, today's occasion was that of taking you through what is being done to ensure that the December season is not a safe and memorable one. With that, I also wish to indicate that today was not the launch of the festive season, but was to explain what the city is doing. The mayor is still going to convene another official launch of the festive season, whereby he will outline all the plans that have been put in place to ensure that Durban is having a bumper and safe festive season. With that, members of the media, I would like to open the floor for any question that you may have with either the mayor or Mr. Maharaj. Any questions of clarity regarding the opening of the pool, the readiness of the city to host the festive season? The floor is open.
Just from last year, so so this year, how sure are you to guess maybe it's what happened last year?
Thank you for the question. Any other questions, members of the media?
I have a question for the mayor regarding the state of things that we've seen in recent months and functions across Durban, more specifically in the line. I've heard you speaking about police visibility across the city. I heard you speaking about police visibility across the city, but we're seeing more and more shootings that are happening. What are you going to be? What are the plans with protecting citizens that are in townships? You're also promoting local tourism in these places, but we're seeing that criminality is growing, and the number of killings is just it's scary. So how are you planning to attract visitors, especially to those areas when we see what's happening currently?
Question for the mayor as well with regards to the grant. So the grant money has now been rolled over, but what were the reasons that we had to come to this point? Not spending this money on time, especially after the situation we had in 2022. Ultimately, why is the municipality unable to spend the money and pull what is allocated?
Upraszam sobie takie kwestie, uważam, że
Thank you so much for the questions. I will now invite the Honorable Mayor to give responses.
Let's thank all of you for your questions and your inputs. Let me appreciate the remarks by our President of the Chamber, which gives an indication that we are not working alone as a city, but we are having collaborations with strategic partners and will continue to work together to fix and make our city work. Let me start with the issue of the incidents of last year of infrastructure. You know that we were still trying to fix infrastructure. We're not at a better position. So now with what we've already alluded to in terms of our responses to those strategic coastal pump stations like Ohlange, we have done something tangible there. We continue to work on it. We have extended its own capacity by resuscitating the old pump station to complement the new pump station. We have added pumps in the very same pump station. When it comes to the wastewater treatment plant, the Northern Wastewater Treatment Plant, which is also giving us more problems, we have now finalized the SCM processes. There are things which are called objections. Those who are objecting on the appointments of others, the appeals. So we are waiting for that process to be concluded. We only received 2 appeals. after we have awarded the contract to a particular company, will complete that process and go and fix that plant. As you also know that, and you are aware that there's a collaboration between ourselves and Umgeni Tugela entity to ensure that we work together with them to fix our 10 wastewater treatment plants. So some of these plants are part of that. Last week, you were together with me when we introduced the new technology to ensure that we deal with the sludge in our pump stations. The technology has now been piloted. It will also be taken to other pump stations around and work and wastewater treatment works within the city. So therefore, those are the kind of interventions which gives guarantees that the situation will be changed for the better. And we are constantly working with all our partners in terms of those laboratories to test our water, conduct assessments so that we are able to act swiftly when there are challenges. But we are also making a call to members of the public and businesses that they must cooperate with us by not disposing of objects which are not supposed to be put in our stormwater systems and drainage systems, so that we can keep our machinery working without any disruptions. Secondly, the issue on the killings within the spate of killings in the Ink area in particular and the surroundings in the eThekwini, let me start by commending the work done by the police. When the Minister of Police committed in the funeral of one of our officers, SAPS officer, that they will be looking and hunting hard on those criminals, we are starting to see positive results, because some of them have already been arrested. There are many breakthroughs that we have seen. We have also seen some of them having a permanent rest, because they are trying to kill the police, and the police, they defend themselves. So if they call for permanent rest, it's their own right, but really we like to see them being arrested. So we are starting to see a good response from the police to ensure that we protect our citizens. And also, police are human beings. So if they are shooting at them, they mustn't expect that the police will use the toy guns to respond to them. So police must use fire by fire. So we commend the police for such reaction, but it is not a sole strategy that we need to rely on. We need to continue mobilizing crime-fighting structures at a community level, also mobilizing and galvanizing support from community members not to buy stolen goods. Because when you continue to buy stolen goods, you are actually increasing the market for these criminals to come and sell in that market. So it is important that we all collaborate, the churches, traditional leadership, all stakeholders, businesses, let's work together. As we are still going to be unveiling many things, but the private sector is also coming on board. We met with Mr. Price to assess what they are doing in the city, their levels of productivity. We made a request that those community structures that are fighting against crime, they need reflector jackets. Since they are producing clothing, they said no, they're going to contribute such contributions. So we expect other businesses to do the same, so that we mobilize and galvanize the support from all stakeholders. So we are certain that by the time we reach to Christmas, there will be a big difference in terms of levels of safety and the number of police that are going to be deployed in townships, rural areas, and strategic areas and the hotspots in the city. On the grants, what were the reasons? We gave an account to the council, which some councillors did not believe, or they intentionally or they were reluctant to believe us in those reasons. So we said, there comes a situation. The first trunk of money was deposited to our account in September, immediate after the flood. That was 185 million. Before the arrival of that funding, the city had already adjusted its budget so that we have 500 million to start fixing things, since we could not wait for the national funding to come before we start fixing things and make the city work. So we prioritize 500 million. We started doing work, and we are done with that money. We have deployed it to and allocated it to projects which have been completed. The only money which was declared as a saving is around 20 million. That 20 million is on the basis that we are not the ones who approve the projects that must be done through that funding. It is national government, because we just give them the list of projects, they approve them, they say for now we have this money, we can approve so much. So when they approve the first group of projects that were supposed to be done, some of the projects which they approved, we had already done them. We have spent our money as a city. So now when we said, can't we take this 40 million and relocate it to other projects, because these ones have already been done and completed, then they said you can only approve 20 million of that money. 21 million, no, we are not agreeing to approve it. So that's the first chunk of money. The second one was 1.5 billion rands. 1.5 billion rands was deposited in our account in March this year. The financial year of the municipality ends in June. So you couldn't spend such amount of 1.5 billion within 3 months. Hence, we had to apply for rollover. Rollover means that they must allow us to use it in the next financial year. So they gave us the initial approval of 720 million. Now, when we brought the report to the council, it's where the noise started, as if we are not willing to spend money. The money had already been committed. It is in our account, but you need authority, because you can't continue without authority of National Treasury. That authority arrived yesterday, and we are ready with all projects. SCM processes have been completed. Now we are ready to go on the ground. So that has been approved, which equates to 1.6 billion rands in total of all the grants that we requested to be given rollover in those grants. And the reasons that we put to National Treasury were convincing reasons which have allowed and enabled National Treasury to take a decision, which is a correct decision, to empower us to continue with the work that we've been doing. So that was the issue of the funding. We have sorted out some of the SCM delays that normally takes place, because we've acknowledged that there have been some challenges when it comes to SCM processes. So we have sorted out some of those unnecessary delays. That was the last one. Thank you very much. I'm now going to the council meeting. They are waiting for me to present this report at 10 o'clock with my honorable council.
Thank you so much, Bob Mayor, for... Oh, sorry, your question was not answered.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The floods victims, what is our plan? Firstly, we've identified the pockets of land parcels that will be relocating some of the residents and build permanent structures for them. As you know, that building houses where implementing agency, it is not our competence. So we are waiting, firstly, for the money to buy land. We only received 10 million rands, which will only cater for 1 or 2 land parcels. Now we still need more money to conclude that area. Then secondly, the National Department and Provincial Department will then give us the money for top structures. That's a process which we are awaiting. But as we committed that 2024 we want to start the processes of building these houses for our residents. We still stick to that, and we have committed that all those who are living in community halls, in churches, in schools, will relocate them by December 2022. We've done exactly that. We relocated all of them. They are in the places that you have alluded to. So we are busy working with the National Department and Provincial Department so that we become more responsive to those who are still located in those houses. But there are some committee members who were not located in community halls, but they were registered because their houses